Hello everyone and welcome back. So this is another Expedition Sunday and it is a late autumn day, cloudy, the weather's kind of nice, and I thought I would come out to Jordon Lake, which is a lake near where we live here in North Carolina. It is huge. It has, I think, what was it, like 400 acres or something ridiculous like that of waterway. It's a very large lake and it's a very beautiful autumn day, so I thought to come down here for the very first time with you guys and to see what I could find, because that's what Expedition Sundays are all about, getting out there, discovering the world around us. And I know most people would think that going to a lake on a cold autumn day would be kind of a weird thing to do, but it's very beautiful out here. I've already had like 15 minutes where it was just myself and this blue heron sitting down here, and the heron walked right past me, right in front of me, maybe just 6 feet away. I got video of it, so you guys will see that in the clips coming up. But it's beautiful here, and you never know what you're going to find. I'm really excited to be here, so I can't wait just to look around, kind of see what there is to see, and share it with you guys and remind you that no matter what the weather's like, no matter where you live, there are surprises and discoveries waiting for you. It's just a matter of getting out there and finding them. So let's see what we can find today, yeah? So let me show you the lake. This is Jordon Lake, and it's big. And it's very pretty. And I just pulled into the very first picnic area that they had and sat down. And there were 2 great blue herons here, one of whom flew off as soon as I got here, and one of whom you guys are going to see in just a little bit, who sat with me and was my buddy for a very long time. So we're going to look around at the lake. We're going to see what it has to offer. You can see the beautiful line of trees in the distance as the autumn colors are starting to come in and spread out across all the forest around here. We're going to go into the forest a little bit behind me. We're going to see if there's anything hiding over there that we might be able to discover. And we're going to keep an eye out for any more of the blue herons that want to stop by, because that was really fun. But this is beautiful, and it just feels like the perfect day to come out here with you guys and experience the lake for the first time and just explore and be part of all of this. So let's see what we find. So here's the lake shore, and I really think it's interesting because you can see all of the different colors of the rocks and the sand and the different sediment layers. You can see pine cones from, here's the forest right behind us. Like here's where you come over if you want a little cookout area. This is what a lot of the American parks look like, in case you guys aren't familiar with them. They just kind of have this little enclosure. There's a bathroom spot, there's spots for you to grill, there's spots for you to just sit and eat your picnic, and there are a bunch of trees, so a lot of pine trees, a lot of deciduous trees over here that we'll go take a closer look at. I'll be very careful because we do have venomous snakes in the area and I'm by myself, so I want to be cautious just in case when we go into the forest. But I just thought that the riverside already was so interesting with the beach layers, because I'm used to a beach where it's just like all sand or all rock, but this has multiple layers of different color sediment that I'm really interested in getting a closer look at. And you can see where like the erosion has started to hit up here, so it makes me wonder if the water sometimes like comes up all the way up to here. And maybe if these pine needles are from pine needles that have fallen on the lake and brushed up against the line here. So this is interesting. I don't see anything other than human footprints in the sand there. But we'll take a closer look at the rocks. I'm kind of curious. I need to find a safe way to climb down, and I like don't want to step on some of the things that look really cool. Alright, so here we are right up against the edge of the lake. So this is the first time I'm going to touch it. Touch it. So I just touched Jordon Lake for the first time, and I can see a lot of like little rocks, and this is indeed rock. I was wondering if it was actually clay, because there's a lot of clay like this. Whoa, are those sand fleas? Look at these little hoppers. You guys see those? What on earth are they? I wonder, I should stay up on my rock because I don't know what they are. But yeah, there's lots of rocks, no seashells or anything like that, because I don't think there's even, I'm not sure if there's like a mollusk population of some kind in the lake, but this is not the kind of little beachy area that you would find those things. Though man, it would be really fun. Oh, look at this pretty rock. it would be really fun to travel with you guys to some beachy areas and see what they look like. But yeah, if you look down into the sand here, you can see all sorts of different rock colors, all sorts of different little pebble pieces, but not really a lot of other refuse. It looks like just pine needles for any plant material that shows up. But I could be totally wrong about what's actually in this lake. This is just what I'm seeing for the first time. What I think is really cool are places like this, where what we have here is a pine tree, pretty tall one too. When this guy falls down, he's gonna go with a bang. But you can see where his root system has been eroded away over time. So probably the lake has kind of claimed this landscape, and this wasn't always this big like little swath. It's like this area has recently been lost to erosion, because you can see trees down there that have fallen down. You can see this guy, and this is really cool because this is the under part of the trees that we normally don't get a chance to see. So I think this is really fun because you can see where his main trunk is, and then you come down, you can see where his roots, his big roots started, and then you can see, look at the size of like this under root. I didn't know that the roots that they would send down, I think maybe, did trees have tap roots? Like, I'm not sure. So this is really interesting. And you can see some of these roots are still in the ground. They still go into the ground. So he's holding on. He's got a few roots that definitely have been dead for quite a while, but otherwise he's looking good. So that's interesting. Definitely better than this one. And you can see here, this is an older tree. This one actually looks like it may have fallen somewhere else and washed up. So maybe it fell into the lake. Like this one right here looks like it could just topple right over into the lake and maybe float off into another part of the area. But you can see, look at this guy. He fell down and his root ball is right here. I bet this would make a perfect little home for little creatures. So that would be kind of interesting to see if anything. Whee! Okay, that's like very clay. Yeah, look at that. That's actually a lot of clay. Interesting, hiding right under the sand. So that's what we're discovering so far. I'm gonna have to be careful with where I step. But let's see, it looks like somebody bit into this guy. Are these beaver bites or is this just damage? That's interesting. I wonder, I think there are beavers in the area, so that would be really fun if we found beavers. But yeah, a lot of fallen trees. A lot of trees that look like they're about to fall. A lot of tiny little pine trees. And that's actually what'll happen, is where you have the big trees who fall down for some reason, like they just get sick and old and collapse, or erosion gets to them, then that makes it possible for a bunch of the new saplings to have a break in the tree canopy. The light will come down and it'll let the new guys get a chance to start growing. So let's see what else we find along here. The paw prints of something that I'm assuming might be a little raccoon, perhaps? So I'll have to look those up. But these are very clearly very distinct little paw prints in the sand. That is so cool. Here we go. We have some more paw prints, this time in this like softer sand, softer, whiter sand up here that's a little drier. And I'm thinking dog? Probably dog. Maybe. I don't know. Like maybe dog. So these are pretty interesting too. Isn't this fun? Even if I don't know what these are, it just gets the imagination and your creativity going. This is deer. This is actually a deer right there. So that's interesting. It's almost like something was very clearly following the deer. Ooh, see what I mean? Now this gets the imagination going. You can see those paw prints coming up along here as well. Oh, that's so neat. And then they're gonna disappear into the forest. Oh, I love this. Even if I don't know the answers, man, it just gets my curiosity going, and that's just so exciting. Here we go with even more little footprints. This is exciting. You can see we've got some small footprints back here, and then if you come over here, these ones look a little bit different than the ones we've been looking at, just a little bit. And then if you look up even further, that one looks even more different than all of them. So this is a freshwater lake. So it's a great drinking spot for anybody who's going to come and wander by here. So looking at the tracks, it's just so fun to try to piece together some of the stories of what may go on here when no one's around and the animals and the wildlife are just moving around and making this their home. And it's just so fun to try to put those stories together. So let's see what else we can find. And here's another example of a tree that is having its roots exposed, and eventually it's going to start looking like the guys that are back here, where their root balls are becoming increasingly exposed till nothing's left and they fall over because they don't have any more strength to grip the ground. But you can see this guy, these are his roots, and look how long they are. So when you look at a tree, remember, it's not just like in that one spot. Look, follow this. And then he's going to have smaller ones that go on from there. So that's really interesting. And if you actually come over and you look at this pine tree right here and this pine tree over here, these guys actually remind me of mangrove trees a little bit. Because if we wiggle over here, you can see all of their roots under the water, which is really fascinating. I wonder how long, and he's alive right now, but I wonder how long these guys are going to be able to stay alive with a good chunk of their root balls under the water. So that is so interesting. Oh my goodness. Look what we have here, you guys. Evidence of some mollusks. So there must be a species here, and this has been opened up and cleaned out. But somebody came along and had a meal. So there are shells per se that you can find. They're not going to be the gorgeous coverings of the sea creatures that you're thinking of who make those beautiful seashells, but we do have some little mollusks in here. So now I'm curious about what species they are, and I'm going to look that up. So you can find seashells, so to say, if you come along Jordan Lake. Good to know. Oh my goodness, you guys, these ones take the cake for the smallest footprints. I looked down because I saw these little footprints and I was like, oh, there's some more of those ones. So interesting, so interesting. And then I glanced down and I realized we're looking at tiny, tiny paw prints right there. I have no idea what to. They were not heavy enough and it was not wet enough for them to leave any other impression. But look at that. The ittiest bittiest little paws right there. That is just so adorable. And you can see there's a couple other sizes and a couple other paw prints over here, but I have no idea what they could be or where they're going or what they're doing. But I just thought that was really cool because I looked down. Oh. There we go. Hello, you. Our heron friend is back.